that day, Mr. Stephen Uwa. One, Kiss Daniels arrived in the country on time and refused to perform due to an airline not bringing one of his bags, and that he could not perform without his gold chain. We all witnessed it, and you said it. So what do you have to say about that?
Sometimes emotions are very high when things happen, actually. Is that actually...
You clearly. Bro.
No, I'm outside. I can't talk.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, Kiss Daniel was supposed to arrive like 2 o'clock, like the flight we booked. Okay. But the airline delayed them for 8 hours in Nairobi. I actually mentioned that that same day. I don't know if you can remember. An airline delayed them in Nairobi for 8 hours, which was actually not good for us. And we at this site, we were finding a very, very urgent solution as far as trying to book the next available flight. Immediately we are booking that flight. He sent me a message that they are already boarding that same airline that delay, which are around 8:15 or 8:50, which they will arrive here around 10:15 or so. So when they arrive around that time, but actually the time they were supposed to perform is 3 a.m. You know, so they arrive around 10. Then they met that the bag wasn't on that airline. That will actually waste another time for them to fill in the form so that the bag can come that same day or the next day, because you can't just leave your bag on the flight and leave that same day and leave the airport. You have to fill up the form. I was there in the airport waiting for them to come outside, which actually take a lot of time because it's airline. Probably there are other people who are actually there. We were patient at the airport. They came out. At least we left the airport around before midnight, probably by 12 or after 11. Then we left. Immediately left, we asked the banks to go do a sound check. Then me, personally, I went to the hotel with Kiss and Tolu. So during that time, the bank came. I didn't know. It was after everything. The bank complained of some technical issues and all that. Before that day happened. So in that process, they complained about those things. Like there was no proper clauses, which actually we have to bring in some things. Which the only mistake that happened that day was the technical team. They actually tell me, maybe they were trying to actually save that part, not telling me there's some technical issue that didn't come that will make them not have to give us a perfect show.
Okay, so but saying now, sorry, Mr. Steve, you are saying now that it wasn't because of the gold chain.
I think later when we sat down, I think there was some issues beyond that chain and the closes.
Okay.
Which actually came on the statement later, which we are both going to address right now. There was a lot of actually issues beyond that. There was some technical issue which the technical manager came to actually complain later that he was trying not to bring out that day. We're trying to manage it so that we can postpone the show for the next day. But at the end of the day, me as a foreigner who has to have a show in another country, trying to protect my name to make sure no matter what goes wrong, let's try and manage the situation, you know. So as Kiss Daniel, who is an artist who wants to give the people the best, was actually trying to hold back so we can postpone this show. So a lot of things, miscommunication came at that time. So for me, I was actually begging, please, if we don't do this show, they won't understand us. We are Nigerians. I'm a Nigerian here, you are a Nigerian as an artist. If we don't perform that day, everything is going to go wrong. So that was where I was trying to push for us to perform and all that, stay that day. But there was a time Kiss actually stand up, okay, let's go and manage the situation. Then we already meant that this venue was already messed up because the time was going. The venue already messed up, people were throwing bottles, people were doing that.
You did not say this that day, Stephen. You did not say Kiss at any point wanted to go and manage the situation. You just said that they begged him for 5 hours. I have the statements here. You said the promoter, Paulo, you specifically mentioned Paulo Koyi, and I told you he was my neighbor for many years and a friend I've known for over 20 years and I worked with right from the time of Kanu Heart Foundation. You said that Paulo begged Kiss Daniels and he was crying for 5 hours and Kiss Daniels refused to perform. There was no place where you said that he got up and wanted to salvage the situation. Please clarify.
That was after a lot of trying to beg to manage and manage him to perform. This was when he wanted. It was I think around 5:30 or 5 o'clock this time, because we were all in the room trying to beg him with other people here. He actually stand up. I won't lie to you. Maybe I didn't mention that because that day emotion was high. That day I was in the station. I also got invited by the police because of that vandalization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also got, so the place got messy.
Right. I'm happy you are here to clear the air. And I understand emotions are like, and I'm not going to judge you or hold you to that. At least the air is being cleared. Another comment you made, which I remember very vividly, was the show cost you $300,000. I like money. So I know they forget money. If they mention money, and they remember $300,000, and Case Daniels was paid $60,000. We all remember. I even brought my calculator that day and calculated $60,000 to be 42 million naira. And since Case Daniels does not live too far from my house, I was thinking of how I'll go and wait on the road for him. Maybe we pay tithe of the $60,000 to me. So, what do you have to say about that? Did you really pay him $60,000 in full? Did you pay him 100% of that money, or what was really the story?
Yeah, the money was paid, but not. Kizane was not the direct booking to that show. It was an agency, like I mentioned before. It was an agency, now, which the same name I mentioned.
Paid, as in the whole money was paid.
Yes, was paid to the agency, but not. I don't know their bargain with that agency for coming here. I believe if not paid, they won't be here. But for me and that agency, we actually have our bargain, the whole plans completed.
Steven. All right. Is there anything you want to say about the payments, the $60,000, the $300,000, the all those things?
Is that a question to me?
Yes, please. Okay.
First, the 100% payment was not made. Yeah, he didn't buy the whole payment before then. But then again, that is like we said, we were trying to sort that out with our agent, but still we were making efforts to make the show. He's there. He's very, very much aware. We were constantly making effort. We were calling stylists in the middle of the night to get us stuff. We were trying to get equipment, trying to just get everything so the show can still go on. It wasn't a thing of Case Daniel not wanting to perform. It was never. He knows that for sure, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. So
and
I'm very want to say, Steve,
and Stephen can confirm that statement that the full payment was not made. I'm sure.
Tolu, the full payment was made to Polo. Me and Polo only have flight. Listen. The full payment was made to the agency, but we only have a flight deduction